Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about food preservation and jelly making, and this is going to be covering pages 70 through 73. So, I'm sure you know what food preservation is, and I'm sure you know why it's important, but let's go over it, okay? So, food preservation is a way that you preserve food for later use. And preserving inhibits bacteria, enzymes, and other organisms from acting on food. In other words, it slows the process of decay. And obviously in our modern age, we use things like refrigerators to help preserve our food. But there were methods before refrigerators, and these were more traditional methods that included salting, pickling, smoking, and drying. So what we're going to do right now is it's time for an Ed puzzle, and I want you to watch the Ed puzzle that talks about the more traditional methods of preserving foods. Okay, so I hope you found that video interesting. I thought it was very interesting. Let's talk about freezing versus canning. So freezing versus canning, there are several pros that go with freezing and several cons. The pro with freezing is that it definitely preserves the taste. There is a higher nutritional value, and there is a much simpler process to freezing something. I mean, really, you just wrap it up and put it in the freezer, and it's less time consuming. However, the cons include that freezing does not kill all organisms. It prevents them from multiplying, but it does not kill them. And also, when you freeze stuff, generally there's a change in texture. And if there's a power outage, then of course you know what happens. If the power is out too long, then you can lose all your food. Okay, so let's talk about canning. So the good thing about canning is it has a long shelf life. If you can something well enough, it can last upwards to a year, maybe even longer. It's economical. It's definitely a good way to save money, particularly if you have your own garden. Canning does preserve the food, and it does this by sterilizing and killing the bacteria. But the cons of canning include the fact that it's labor-intensive and very time-consuming. And also, if something's improperly canned, it can cause serious foodborne illnesses, some of them even deadly. I'm sure you've heard of botulism. And also, canning tends to destroy some of the nutrients, and it does alter the texture of the food. So there's two methods of canning, and there's two videos on Ed Puzzle. One's the boiling water bath method, and the other is the pressure canner. So I want you to watch those videos and get an idea of what those two different methods are all about. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed those videos. So let's talk about the fact that we have a variety of canned food. Obviously, you saw that you can can vegetables. You saw that you can can meat. But you can also can things like homemade marinara sauce. You can can soup. You can make homemade ketchup. You can use it for Worcestershire sauce as far as canning. And you can make fruits. You can can fruits as far as you can can them whole, sliced. You can make a sauce. You can make a jelly. You can make a jam. Canning really opens up a world of possibilities. So what's the difference between jelly and jam? Well, firstly, jelly is made from the juice of fruit and is clear and it holds its shape well. Jam, on the other hand, which I see I misspelled, J-A-M, jam, contains slightly crushed or ground fruit. It is softer than jelly and spreads easily. So there's a couple of terms here that you should be familiar with. Conserves, they're a type of jam made from a mixture of fruits. Then we have marmalade, and this is tender jelly with pieces of fruit and fruit pill. Then we have preserves, and this is made from whole fruit or large pieces of fruit that are placed in thick jellied soup. And then we have fruit butters, and these are made from pureed fruit. All right, so that is the end of your lecture. It's always good to look over the pages. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you have a great weekend.